Yeah, we got Ed and Troy. Let's go.
What about?
All right, so we got our very first lead with our directory site, with our little attorney site. Troy just asked me, what did I do with the lead? Dude, it was wild. I ended up calling the lead, and then I called an attorney in that local area. And here's the thing. I felt like yesterday I was running the business of this directory, right? So what I'm going to show you is, check out this. Like, literally, I went over here, and so here's who I connected this person with, okay? So I literally, this is, let me refresh it because I put the images at top. Yeah, okay, there it is. All right, so this is the attorney that I connected them with. It's called Chad Cox, PLLC, attorney at law, Paris, Texas. So thank you, Chad, for taking my guy. All right, but like literally I connected them with this and I couldn't find them. So check out what I did is I had to like Google search total different ways of like finding like an attorney in Paris, Tennessee, because there's not many. It's a small little place. I've never been there, but it's a small little place. So I had the lead that filled out and said he was speeding in 19 miles an hour, and I have to find a traffic lawyer. But the way you search it up is traffic violations lawyer. So check out this. In the branding area, I came back here and I was searching on Google, and I'm like, man, how do I find this? And I started searching up different ways. And I straight up added the new categories in my category area. So because I couldn't find them, I was like, man, how do you find traffic lawyer? Oh, traffic lawyer, traffic violations lawyer. Like, I need to make sure I have each one of these on my categories. And so I literally started building my categories. Well, then check out this. And then I added this guy, Chad Cox. I added him to my website. Chad, you could search up Chad. And now Chad Cox right here we have his own profile. And now he's on my website, and like he has his own little profile. We have his own little, like, I put this in AI to give me a little about his page, this little homepage. I just grabbed his copy and threw him on there. And lo and behold, we have a little profile for this guy. And so it was wild start to finish to get it. I felt like I was running the business of this whole little thing. Like, it was really cool. It was really, really wild and fun. Because here's the thing, what started happening is now people are starting to reach out to me and they want to buy these leads now, Troy. Like,
yeah. Now you got to figure it out. What's the next step?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I'm going to actually, no joke, start to sell these leads. And I think that's
the point, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's going to be the next step, is finding. I'm hoping to find, you see how like this guy, when I noticed yesterday, when I called, I had to call around. Not everybody is a traffic lawyer or a traffic violation lawyer. Some people only handle criminal defense or only handle family law or personal injury. Like, they don't handle everything. So like, it's interesting is I could start to see why it's better to start to get really niche down in these type of directories.
Well, here's I mean, if people are interested, you need to create something where people, I guess if you had, is there something on the directory page where it say want leads, click here, and then basically they go through a funnel where they enter their information and then they're put into a, into a CSV of some sort so that you can contact them later, or into some sort of follow-up funnel. I have a friend who's an attorney, and sometimes you go to somebody who's a close attorney friend because they know other attorneys. So even if they don't specialize in it, they're scratching the back of a friend by sending it to that appropriate attorney. So some, depending on the price of the lead, that might be good enough for them. Like, hey, look, this goes to a traffic. I'm thinking criminal, because it's they're often that's in the same net, essentially, or traffic. So that if they didn't handle it, they would know somebody who did, but most likely they would, and then they could just send it to the appropriate person. A lot of those firms have divisions. You know, they could be a large law firm that has their criminal, their traffic, their, you know, their abuse and things. So
Very
a lot,
interesting.
yeah, a lot of reasons. But I would somehow, anybody that's interested, you need to manage that interest by creating a lead page or a form that they could at least fill out that goes into a CSV Google Doc or something, at least for now, as you're building out more of the lead gen tool.
Yeah, man, this is wild how like this isn't just like, oh, let's just rank some pages on Google. Like, no, it's like, this is a full-on business, man. Like, this is legit. I was thinking last night, if this works the way that we're talking with this, like when this works, like we got that lead. If somebody was to buy that lead for 25 to $100, that would have been a $25 to $100 sale yesterday for me on the site already. Yeah. And it's a brand new site. Well, if I have that set up, and if I have a dude that says, hey, bro, I'll buy all your leads for any of your attorney for traffic, for like maybe injury and maybe traffic motor vehicle accident injury. Well, if I have that guy and he's like, dude, I'll buy $100 a lead. Well, like, dude, how legit is that?
Yeah, that's like I said, that's where we started, creating a directory and the leads. And so this is exactly where you want to be.
It's interesting is because the lead part is one part of the business. It's not, it's not like Chad Cox now. He doesn't have a premium profile, and he also isn't a #1 promoted on a monthly basis on my site. So essentially, if we have like a get listed page, like right now, I just have the little like link to get listed, and it probably says like it doesn't do anything. But like, if we have a little get listed button eventually where it actually spells out like, hey, get listed for free. Here's what it requires. You could get listed. And then it's just a basic profile like what I have here. But then if they have a premium profile, the premium profile has like their appointments and has all of these other stuff, like everything else that they would need to actually get premium appointments or something along those lines. I don't know what we could do to give them a premium other than just, hey, you're promoted. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, when I had the little, like, I used to have it's called Hemp Marketing University. It doesn't exist anymore, but I used to have it was a hemp cannabis directory. And no joke, I used to sell this little blue verified checkbox. And it was $500 for a little blue checkbox. And all it was is you got verified, and it was a little blue checkbox, and there was like, these ones are verified versus the other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe we have like a verified and then we have like a sponsored. I don't know. Or maybe we have a sponsored. But I feel like there's two things coming up here that we need to like handle. One is we have leads coming in. And then two, we're starting to get people on the profiles. Like we're actually like, I listed 2 people yesterday on the directory. Well, like I need to actually make it where the directory can show them. Like right now the profile is here, but when we go to the main page, it's still pulling from my API. Very interesting. Yeah.
Well, this is good. This is exactly where you want to be. Just gotta.
Yeah. Definitely. Any thoughts, Ed? I know whenever I said I didn't know what to do with the lead, Ed said he would know what to do with the lead if we had it in like a different niche. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, what do you mean what to do with the lead? You do exactly what you did.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not as you do more manually, then you're going to figure out what are the challenges that you need, you know, the things that you need to simplify, make more efficient or effective. The questions, so you're going to learn as you start to just handle these yourself and reach out and then build as you learn. I don't know. I mean, but if you have other people interested in getting leads, you got to have a button there. You know, you could have a verification button, or, you know, interested in paid ads. Just some things where these people that do end up on your site has been easy call to action for those things. Want to advertise? Click here. You know, want leads? Click here. And then have it just be a simple freaking Google form that just takes their data, puts it into a CSV, and then manually call them and start to see what sort of traction you're getting off of that. But yeah, you can't let those moments go to waste. So once they're on your site, it should be you know, interested in advertising, interested in getting leads. Want leads, need advertising.
Very interesting. So essentially what you're saying is we need to have a spot. So let's just say I've reached out to Chad Cox. Okay. Well, Chad Cox is now on my site, so I should probably reach out to him and say, hey, you're on my site. Do you want advertising? Or do you want to be number one? Like, do you want to be, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I mean, with that, yeah, I would think of building a relationship with him and being, hey, look, you know, maybe it's free, and you just ask him for his feedback. You know, hey, look, I want to offer you a paid spot for, or, you know, what would be a paid spot for free. I'm building this out. I would just appreciate your feedback whenever. Yeah, it's a tough one. He's in a small market, so I'm not sure what sort of leads you're going to be able to drive there. I guess you sent him something. You could ask him his own personal opinion. Hey, look, this is what we're dealing with, but I see the value in the space, but I don't know a lot about the space. Are you able to refer to other attorneys, and do you get a referral fee off of that? You know, I'm trying to figure out how to, you know, monetize this and how much to charge. And so if I were to offer, you know, you're in a small area where I don't foresee a heavy stream of leads coming in the early stages of my building out this directory. But so if I were to put you on, you know, create an ad, or a banner ad for you that will run throughout the state of Tennessee, would that would that be of value to you? And, you know, so I'd really see if you couldn't, if he was open to kind of learning with you and growing with you and sharing some of his feedback. And you got to ask any questions. Hey, look, what if you had a banner ad in Colorado? Some attorneys are licensed in multiple states, or, you know, they have classmates, because that's how my friend, he has classmates that he graduated from Georgetown, and that he's got a network. He referred my mom to a real estate attorney in Colorado, or franchise attorney. So that's just see if you can build a relationship and learn as much as you can about him. Imagining that this is the directory you want to focus on is the law. Or, like I thought about earlier, I mean, I think your interest and knowledge might lie more with the cannabis dispensaries, and you've essentially proven the digital concept of the directory and that leads can come in with this, but it doesn't mean you have to stay in this. You could just now shift, go to a directory and say, hey, look, I created this directory here and I created this directory here. I did get some leads from this in the attorney space, but my interest lies in this space. Will you work with me on this? It's probably going to be easier to build relationships and get more interaction and involvement from people in that dispensary space, I think, because they're not charging the hundreds of dollars an hour like an attorney is. So the value of their time is not so expensive that they might not be that they'd be more likely to be open to investing time in future rewards in that space, unlike the attorney space.
Yeah.
So that I could picture that more. It's like, hey, look, I proved the concept here. Let's see if that wheel keeps spinning on its own. But I'm going to jump back over to this because I proved the concept, and let me do this because this is what really drives me and excites me more anyways. And I think you're going to be able to get a bit more traction.
Yeah. So here's cool. This is where I felt like yesterday I was running the business of this, is because not only did I have the lead that came in, okay, I had the lead that came in, but I also added this person, Chad Cox, which is in like Paris, Tennessee. Then I added this person, which is Goldberg Injury Law. Somebody tagged an attorney on one of my posts, and then I added them. And then they're here. So now they're on my business site, on my site. And then yesterday too, somebody purchased advertising space up here where it says exclusive offer, natural balance wellness, premium CBD for your wellness journey. And this is a little shop thing for what you just said is, so I sold this little banner ad space right here, up here on the directory site. And so, because you're right, I want to monetize all of them, right? You could see I have banner ads from here, from Google ads over here on the sides. Well, this little spot up top will like, dude, like I'll take a couple $100 for like putting a link right here per month. You know what I mean? So I set them up on a subscription and I sold this little spot right here. Hopefully today I have a guy that's going to be buying the bottom spot. And then I'll just add little top spots. And those are my little like ads that I sell on that spot. So I do still want, it's not that I'm shifting my focus. It's, you could build all of these, like really it's, once these sites are up, I mean, I'm really not doing anything, like now it's up, so you just kind of create it and build it. And once we have these things set in place is the idea. Okay. I believe that they're going to bring in traffic, and they've been bringing in traffic. And well, what do we do now that we have the traffic has been what we're trying to figure out now, which it's working. It's cool. I put on over here on the attorney site, check out this. In a few seconds, it's going to load. You see that? Brain injury head. You see that? Brain injury, head injury lawyer down here.
Yeah.
So we're starting, look, lost a loved one, need help, wrongful death claim, insurance company call you, Chad go light. Right? So these are now lawyer ads on my site, which is, look, lost a loved one, here's a lawyer ad. So these are ads for the lawyer. So I finally got approved the other day, and now the ads are all showing up on the site. But it's all attorney related.
Yeah, now go back over that because I think I'm following, and that was just a thought that I had that was a thought I had as well, but I think that just covered it. So go back on that.
Like the ads?
Yeah, because because I did see that you had posted that it was approved for ads or something. Yes. Those aren't ads that you get; those are ads that are provided.
Yes,
and then you get paid for allowing them to publish ads on your site.
That is correct. So
okay, that's exactly what I was thinking. So that's perfect.
So
yeah, go back over that.
So I went to Google AdSense. Okay.
Yeah.
And I added here where it says sites, and it says all your sites, and I added a new site. That's all I did. Okay. Or right here where it says sites. Okay. So I added a new site. You can see how it says like authorize both of these, right? So first it takes like a few like weeks sometimes. The attorney site took way longer than the dispensary one. The attorney site actually said it was too thin. And so I had to redo it, and I had to add a header. I had to add a footer. Now it's not as thin. You know what I mean? So I had to come in here and update the site before they would even approve it. Well, once they approved it, then they give you a little code. So they give you a little code here, and that code basically says, like, put the ads on there, right? So if we go here, now we have home. You can see how I have all the stats for the ads, okay? So right now, the main thing has been the dispensary site. That's been the main thing for a while, which is all the ads over here. Well, here's what I'm realizing. You see how it says SEMrush, and it's like your keyword strategy with AI? Well, it's almost like giving me ads based off my interests. But those aren't going to be the highest paying ads. The ones that are going to be the highest paying ads are the ones like this, where it says brain injury, head injury lawyers. This one's going to be the highest paying one, because ultimately it's like product match. You see how it's like, these are the products, like this is what it's like, attorney, lawyer stuff is on the page, and then this is what they're also interested in. So it's almost like this is a really good ad to put on the page. It's the ad matches the content. So therefore we have a higher chance of them going through and clicking these ads, which is way better for us, right? Chad Golightly, no joke, this guy's in Vegas. I should call Chad Golightly and say, bro, you want to advertise on my site? Because you're already on my site, all over my site with your head injury lawyer stuff, right? So you're already on my site. Do you want to advertise more? Right? And now you could be number one, and I'll put you on number one in all of Las Vegas or any of the other cities and states that you want. And I'll cross-reference it with, the goal is to, what soon I want to make, here's the goal with this profile template. Let's just say Goldberg Law was the person that I want to be number one. I would literally, I want to be able to make it where I could click a button right here, and then it says, how long do you want to make this person promoted? And then it sets that thing every month. And then I set them up on a Stripe subscription. After I got off a call with them, would they know, like, hey, this is how much it's going to cost? So I want to make this process very smooth. I think we'll probably make it where you just end up connecting Stripe into this thing, most likely, just because I don't want to have to like go into Stripe every time. I feel like that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just have it where it's like payments, and then it's in here. However, you can see, check out this. So this is like what it's coming together like. So just so you guys can see, this is the page that we come in here. This is where it's the settings. So this is what your guys' inside of your software will look like. You see how it says admin account down here? You would have an admin account, so you could see your settings. Nobody else can. That means you're going to be able to set your info, your visual identity for like the entire like site, like all the branding for this, the categories. So you're going to be able to set all the categories, which then creates your sitemap. And then your social medias, your contact information. So you can actually like have the basic. I have like a phone number here. Here's what's interesting. I literally, no joke, somebody is trying to sell me. Dude, this is sick. Somebody's trying to sell me, not sell me, but maybe it is sell me. They're trying to say, hey, I have a phone number. If you put on your website, anytime somebody calls that number and talks for more than 2 minutes, you get paid. Me. So it's a tracking phone number. I have 2 people so far that's offered that. And they say, hey, if anytime, we'll put a phone number, and anytime somebody calls that, you get paid for that. So my thought is, we could put a phone number here, right here, and then literally we get those phone leads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they said you have to talk for 2 minutes, and then what's the name of the company? Did they send you a URL or a website so you could check them out? Because that sounds pretty shady.
Yeah. Once I have the full contact information, I could send it over, and I'll see if it's legit. For me, it's just these are the things that, like, once I had the lead in hand, people started showing up and saying, hey, this is what we could do now. It wasn't like I've told people I've been building this, but now that I have the lead, everyone's like, oh, okay, you have something. It's not just like this fugazi, you know, it's not fake. Like, it's not just smoke and mirrors, what my wife just said. Like, it's something real. So like it worked. Okay, it works. Now what? Well, now some guys like, hey, I handle these things all the time. This is how you do it. And then I'm learning new words. And I'm like, okay, like, this is actually a big space. I think the attorney niche is not just a small niche. I think this is a huge niche.
Yeah, I got a couple things because I went on to check out the ads. I'm not showing ads on either of those when I go to either of those URLs. Now, keep in mind, for some reason, when I go to play a YouTube video, it says that I have an ad blocker. I can't find an ad blocker anywhere, so I don't know what it's talking about. I just refresh it, and then it usually ends up just playing the YouTube video anyways. But I have been getting that I have an ad blocker, so I'm not sure if I do have one. I just haven't found, and that's why I'm not seeing it. Seeing the ads on your URLs, or do you know?
Do you have a phone or something?
Say what?
Your phone or something? Check on your phone, you know?
What,
if you do have an ad blocker, maybe.
But I'm on my computer.
You could check your computer or use a different browser or something like that. It might be that browser that you have the ad blocker installed on.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So try like a different browser, maybe not Google.
All right, I'll go over to the browser I use for my mom here. Let's do it. It shouldn't. Oh, the ad showed up there and there. Okay, so it did. So I probably have one lingering on my Chrome somewhere that I just can't find.
Nice.
Or maybe it's on a part of another extension. Then, what about the whale that you talked about? And he was going to do some stuff and handle a different approach where he gets paid first before he provides anything. Any more feedback on that?
Yeah, I do like that business model. I kind of wanted to see if I could get a lead first before I went and hustled down an attorney for leads, you know. And now it's kind of like, now I have it, and now what do I do with it? Do I think his method is a little bit smarter, where it's a little bit more direct? So he's like, he has the people he's going to provide leads to first. Yeah, that's awesome.
But do you have any feedback on how he's done so far with that method?
I haven't talked to him directly. I just see his results of he had a lot of people interested.
No, I know. I understand that part. I'm just wondering if he provided.
Yeah.
Nothing more from the last time we talked.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him. I know he's just a busy guy, so I just haven't talked to him.
Yeah.
But I did send him a message. I mean, I followed up with him, and I was like, I told him how freaking awesome he was and how cool that was that he did that. And I was like, dude, thanks for like showing me that that's possible, you know, in a sense. You know, I didn't realize that I could do it like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of cool. So yeah, for me, I think the next part is also, I have no way inside. Check out the blog area that we built too. This is essentially, I want to make it where people, if they do have a premium profile, they're able to like guest post and post blogs, because they might want to, you know what I mean? That's an extra backlink to their site. That's them having that site, you know, whatever it is. So that's like a part of the premium profiles that they're going to have. But you as the admin need to be able to see all the blogs. We have this really cool little blog editor that I built in here. The reason I'm even showing you guys this is because this whole thing is a template that I'm building. Ultimately, this whole entire thing that I'm building right now is a template. The goal, like the other day, Ed said, dude, like, let's do this. Let's do a project together. Right. Well, like, the goal is I want to be able to duplicate this entire project in code. Literally the files. I want to go into the files, right? Into this tools right here. I want to go into my file manager. This is Website Scraper API, but I could show you on here too. I want to go in here, click on this little thing, hit compress right here. And I want to compress the entire thing. And then I want to duplicate it and put it on a new domain. unpack that thing and then go through the onboarding process that I built. And the onboarding process will set up the entire website for us. And all the functionalities that we've been talking about are built into the software. Like everything that we've been doing. So right now I'm kind of learning, like, okay, like yesterday I just got the lead. Like, where in my dashboard does it show that I got the lead? You know what I mean? Like, well,
yeah,
it's fun, as awesome it is to sell the leads. If we don't even have a dashboard to track the leads, to show how long ago it filled it out, to be able to send it again, to be able to edit, to be able to email them right there on the spot, like, love you, Jameson, talk soon. If we don't have all of those things in place, we'll like, this isn't going to work out. We have to have those things in place. And so we want those things in place. So when we do have them and we do get those leads, okay, cool. I have that easily accessible in my dashboard. And that's in this area right here. And so,
yep. Now, a couple of things I thought of. First off, Jameson just jumped off. I apologize for exiting everybody last time.
Oh,
I was on that admin, and then I just went real easily exit, and I go, oh, I think I just exited everybody. What the heck? So sorry about that. I know everybody said all good. I reached out, but that just reminded me of that. And then what you're saying right now, and kind of some of the questions you're asking right now, keep in mind this. We talk about mining for gold or selling them the shovel. And right now, it sounds like that's maybe a fine line. We're starting to mine for gold rather than selling the shovel. It looks like you've pretty much proven out the shovel. So you could just go out and sell the shovel like you did to this whale, and just keep selling the shovel and let other people that build out these directories worry about this mining part. In fact, you could sell a ton of shovels. Somebody's out there is going to mine something, build a directory using your shovel at an epic level, and then you could just do what that person did that you just showed the shovel to. So where do you want to, where's your lane? Where's your angle? And it's just go on out there and sell shovels and promote. Hey, look, I proved this out. Now you go do it. This is not my specialty. I have ideas. You can still play with this, almost like a little sandbox on the side that you go and play with as kind of like meditation, but you just keep on selling shovels.
Yeah.
And so keep that in mind, because otherwise you go down this rabbit hole of, okay, now we got to do this, and where's my lead, and then now I gotta find the API to get this lead to this place, and then I have to get the billing. So that's all the mining part. That's not the shovel part. You have the shovel, so just go on out there and sell it. You already have people who purchase the shovel. Probably more people who purchase the shovel than you've gotten leads. So Absolutely. Keep on selling that shovel.
100%. And I think what it is ultimately I want this to be the best dang shovel that exists. Like, because what it is, so imagine this right now. Let's just say this, because right now we're discovering like, oh, wow, like I could get leads on this. And so now it actually got leads. Well, if I make this shovel, all of a sudden it shows leads. Well, if we're trying to create the best programmatic SEO system that exists, well, I want to make sure that this has the leads, all of that. So my goal, here's the complete truth. This is where my financial motives are, Troy. If this works correctly, how we all say, if I go to these profiles, you see how it says profiles right here? And then it says locations, 300 or 33,784 cities. And then it says 104 categories and only 268 profiles. Here's my financial incentive. This website, if you go to this little map integration right here, and it says Attorney Las Vegas, and I hit fetch data, you see how it says loading right here? What's actually happening is this is calling Website Scraper API right now.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna hit up. It's calling the Website Scraper API. It goes into here. It goes into this maps. It calls this right here. Bam. Attorney search near me. Query attorneys Las Vegas. It's literally calling this right now, and it responds with all of this data, right? This is all the business data. It responds with all the business data, and then it imports that business data right into here. You see this?
Yeah.
So based off of if this works, when this works, if you had one category, not 104, one category, and you had 33,000 cities and states, you would need 33,000 credits. 33,000 credits for this. Does that make sense? So not only do you need the template, you also need 33,000 credits to fill up the profiles on your directory. Okay, so you have to call those credits to be able to get the data into your site. Well, that's not free. So if you want 33,000 credits, 33,000 credits is about $739.
Is that at cost, or is there a margin there for you?
Absolutely, there's a margin for me.
Okay,
I built this.
that's what I'm saying. This is your shovel. So,
yeah, this is my shovel, Troy. This is my financial incentive. I'm building. But here's the thing. I know I used to build software for a real estate developer guy.
Right. Okay.
That guy paid some serious money for data. So I know, let's just say the other day, you remember how I told you I submitted 4 million site pages?
Yeah.
The 4 million comes from, this is where it comes from. So if I go into this dashboard, it's the locations times the categories.
Okay.
So once we have that, that is 104 times this number, which is right around 3 million pages. So that means you need 3 million credits.
Okay.
So now if we talk about this, if I go into here, into the website scraper, in here, now we bring this up, 3 million credits, 1 million credits, $9,000.
Okay.
3 million credits, $27,000 plus the cost of the template, Troy.
Okay.
My goal is to make this whole template, when somebody says, yep, here's my credit card for $35,000, and then I press one button and it calls and fills up their entire website with 100 categories in 33,000 cities and states, and that $35,000 value exchange is right there.
Right.
I want this tool to be able to handle this $35,000 sale. That is the goal that I'm building that to. And then that's my goal. My goal is
didn't you already prove that out? Doesn't this prove it out?
It proves it out.
Okay.
But now I have to make it where every single one of us, Austin, Ed, Troy, every single one of us can take this whole template within 20 minutes, buy your credits, set up your template on your own domain, and have a whole entire website submitted to Google with your lead generation, with your ads being able to submit it, with your ability to have promoted. Right. Everyone has the same template in the back end with all of the abilities, all inside of a template for whatever you're able to start off in your pricing range based off your credits. And we all have a full entire website builder directory from this. And yes, we could all take the template from where it is right now and use it. However, where I'm going, like just yesterday, I wasn't thinking about we need to be able to see all the leads that come in. Okay, well, I need to be able to put that into a dashboard. Well, also your leads might have to answer a different question than my leads. So that means your form needs to be different when they fill out the form up here. Because you might be doing real estate and you might be saying, do you want to sell your house or do you want to buy a house?
Yeah, I get it. But there's, without a more clear destination, you're just constantly going down the rabbit hole. And I'm not saying you're going the wrong way, but what I'm saying is there's some irony, because I just thought again about what you said with the whale. Basically, he's selling, then he's building after. You're doing it opposite, although you like that idea. right now, if you were to stop and sell this shovel as it is, you would be doing a little bit of both, because you already built, and then you would be now you because here's one thing that this just popped in my head with real estate, right? And people wanting to sell their home. Some people go, oh, well, I need to fix it up, and I need to change these cabinets, I need to change this floor, then I can, get a better price and, list it for more. But that could be true, but at the same time, you don't know what this person coming into the house wants to do. You put the wrong floor or wrong new cabinets in, you might be able to charge more, but they may not want to pay more because they wanted different cabinets anyways. And so you have to watch out for yourself, for you may be building out some things right now, or some of these thoughts and ideas that you have, especially if you're not given the example earlier, like, hey, look, your new lead, try to build a relationship with them so you can basically kind of, lock arms and walk through this process together and learn. You can learn from him as he tells you what somebody might want. Then that's good. But otherwise, you might be, without doing that, you might be projecting what you think they want rather than what they want. And yes, there is certain ways in which some real basic things, the lead information to come in, but how it's handled after that, you may want that to be a done for you sort of thing, right? Let me sell you the shovel. I'll sell you this. You'll get all these pages. It'll come in this basic format, but from there, I have my team or myself that will do a done for you based on how you want that home, that you want, what cabinets you want, what floor you want, whether you want that wall down or not, all those customizations. So be careful that you're not projecting the customizations you think they want on what they might want otherwise. And so that's where you can, I think you want to be careful not to go too far down the rabbit hole. You have a shovel, you've proven it, you got a lead. What more do you need? You might need some basics. When you said, I didn't think about the lead coming in. So you would set, and then I brought up the advertising or a lead form. Maybe something real basic like that. But beyond that, you have a sellable, proven product that you have a margin set up on already. And then that's like, hey, here's a do it yourself, and then there's a done for you, and then it's we do it all. So you have those three different setups, and so you can already sell them on the do it yourself stage. The done for you stage is going to be even more, right? So if they're going to drop 30 grand on this, and then you're going to go, well, now you want it done for you. That's going to be another 15, 20 grand, because or whatever that work's going to entail. And then if you want us to do it all, then that's going to be, here's 45, 50 grand out the gate. So just some things to keep in mind, because it's I think we've talked about this many a times. And and I know you're grateful, because you told me before to kind of reel back in from that rabbit hole. It's all about knowing, where point A to point B, and how you're going to exit, and when you're going to exit, because otherwise the exit never comes.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think that's definitely helpful. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is even offer maybe even a combination of right now, maybe even offering a pre-sale for anybody that wants it, that wants this template. And maybe what I'll do is I'll pay for their data up front,
Well, see, that's another thing that came to mind. Remember, you said about 2 weeks ago that you had an offer, and that was for the dispensary one, and maybe that's what you do. You say, hey, look, here's this, but I have ideas. Let me, or you use, maybe there's a way that you could sell a percentage, or you always get to run the ads through there, but they get to own the pages. But that's a locked in first sale, although that might be more something that you're more interested in. I'm not sure, but I thought about that too.
That's a really cool idea. Like essentially like locked in per sale, or essentially like being a part of their business. And then when we do set this up, there's just going to be an admin dashboard. So we could run it for them.
If they want to buy it, maybe there's a way. Hey, look, you go back and you say, hey, look, I know it's worth more than that, 10,000, but here are, it's kind of like a franchise or something. Maybe you could, and this could be great anyways. And I thought about that. Another thing comes to mind because it was without going down a side story here. Back in the day, there's something in my mind about there's a story somebody I'm trying to line up, but these two roommates, one owns the rights in Africa and one purchased the rights in the US, and he wants to build a factory for this product. So what I'm getting to is for that $10,000, you just say, all right, you get east of the Mississippi, I get west of the Mississippi. How about that? And then you have basically somebody to lock arms with and share ideas off of. And we'll work together on seeing how we can monetize this on a higher level. And you just essentially franchise, or you just sell off half of it. You say $10,000 you get east of the Mississippi, and I get west of the Mississippi. And then you could really bounce ideas back and forth off each other as you both try to build this dispensary near me directly.
Yeah. Yeah, I dig that. There's a lot.
You got $10,000 in your pocket to do it too.
Yeah. There's a lot you can do with this stuff. I'm definitely excited that we're in this direction now. So
yeah,
it's weird because it's like we're doing AI coding. However, like it's leading us into something that is programmatic SEO, and now we're building business directories. But the AI code is what created it. So I feel like it's interesting. Are we a whole bunch of AI coders or a whole bunch of programmatic SEOers?
Well, there's something I saw recently. Oh, you know what? I joined that group. You see that School of Hard Knocks guy, and he gets all the interviews with all the billionaires and millionaires and stuff. It's so good. And so I joined his school group, and I think it might have been on there. One of the interviews, the guy was talking about sales. Basically at the end of the day, everything's about sales. If you can sell, you can survive. And so that's what as we're talking about the shovel and going down a rabbit hole and building out and coding and AI coding and all this business stuff and all the other options that are available, I'm thinking, dude, we have a shovel, just sell it.
Yeah.
And then other people build stuff and you go, that's a great idea. That was built with my shovel. Now I'm going to do something like that. Then you don't have to go down the rabbit hole of creating it because somebody else uses your shovel to create it. At very least, you should be selling the shovel just as much as you're trying to build something. That's kind of goes back to a real estate thing as well. That's realtors often go through cycles because they'll get busy drumming up business, lead generating. You're reaching out, and then they get busy with the leads that come through, but they don't have time to go out and lead generate. So that's why we constantly say, hey, look, this is something that has to be a daily habit, because otherwise then you're busy with all your clients, but you never were nurturing new ones or looking for new ones as you were working with clients. And then after those close, then you're back to, oh, now I got to drum up business again. And so it would be a good habit to get into is, as you're building this out, don't forget to sell the shovel at the same time, because then somebody might grab your shovel, start building right alongside you or something different. You can learn by somebody else's, wisdom or mistakes rather than have to do it all yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I dig that. I think I'm going to start doing that, Troy. I think I'm going to put out an offer of somebody that wants just maybe like a couple people, not many, that are maybe just pre-selling this in a sense. And like, they're still going to use the template. I'm still going to be building out this template. Yeah. Just they're going to get the template to their brand, and then they're going to get it set up, And so,
yeah, dude, if you know some rock stars that are interested, maybe it's not a priority. You in the early stages, you cut them a little bit of a deal. They say, hey, look, I believe in you and I know what you can do, but at the same time, I'm trying to do this and this is the work I put in.
Yeah.
Get in at the early stages. Here, I'm going to give you this, kind of like you did with my AI team, and getting a lifetime subscription for the 9,000 or whatever. Just essentially make the same sort of offer with this shovel, so that to people that you believe in, so that you go, oh, these people would really be able to run with this, and I kind of look up to them anyways, or I follow them, so I can follow them by sharing this a little with them as well, and as I'm doing my own thing.
Troy, that would be crazy. So what if, like, imagine if it's like it's almost like, what if we did like a 1 million credit offer that came with it, and essentially that 1 million credits, that's 33 categories and only 33,000 cities. So that's all the cities and states in the United States, but only 33 categories is 1 million credits, which is really not that many. However, that's $9,000 price tag. So if we did like a really cool offer where it's like, some stupid offer right at the beginning, that's like 2,500 or something like that for like all the credits plus, because you could have multiple sites with this, but if you just stuck with one website, you could just have that many, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, to get people in the door, I mean, because you're throwing it out across the country, is doing it by state. I don't have an interest. It can become overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff that maybe state or city even, just get some people in there with baby steps. Sell them the shovel. Maybe it has to be a minimum of a certain amount, for you to offer it to. North Dakota is probably not going to have much of anything, and so they're going to need to have a certain amount of credits, but that could roll them over into those credits being used in other ways, because is that accessible through your My AI team dashboard, right? No.
I built it as a whole different software. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. However, I mean,
so those credits wouldn't be transferable.
No, they wouldn't, since they are different. It's a different software. Yeah.
Okay.
Now the other thing is you could get reviews, and somebody yesterday requested. They said they wanted. It was really cool. I don't know if I have it up, but they wanted Amazon products also. Like, they wanted a place for products to be able to add their affiliate link, and then they populate like categories, you know what I mean? And so I pretty much like started that.
Yeah, but I'd be careful with that.
Yeah,
that's opening a whole nother genie lamp.
Yeah, it is pretty much, but essentially, like, there's other things, like, so this one right here, this just pulled in.
Yeah.
This just pulled in Amazon, and this could search for any cannabis books, because I was going to put this on the dispensary site, right? So now you could go on here and buy. But if you look down here at the little like link that pops up, it says tag dispensary Nia, right? Which is near, right? So if you look at this, up here is my tag. So it automatically adds my affiliate link to every single one.
No, that's good. I thought you meant more like a Shopify type of thing.
Yeah, literally, no. It just pulls in the products, like it scrapes Amazon, and then it adds our affiliate link to the end of it, and then it builds us all these little product pages.
No, that's epic.
So that would be like the idea, but this would cost a credit. You know what I mean? Like, so the thought is you would come on here, set up all your categories for your Amazon pages, how many pages you want, and then all of a sudden you'll have a ton of Amazon products. If they click, it opens up Amazon, you get paid if they buy anything. And then that would all be in your dashboard back here, just like how the blogs are, you know what I mean? So because now you could see if you're getting clicks on your Amazon, and now you're getting sales from that, and it's just, so maybe that's what maybe that's where I appreciate what you said to Troy is like, I could get Squirrel and I could build this thing for 6 years. I promise you.
Yeah.
Like, and so, yeah, so I think that there should be a stopping point with different spots.
Yeah, I mean, it's just creatives, you know. I know musicians or people who write books, right? It's like, when do you end? When do you end?
But you know, it's cool. So you see how it says there's like profile and there's blogs and there's settings like this, and then it goes to these different pages. The way I coded this, it's actually completely different, like code scripts. So I'm not coding it up in one giant script. I'm like coding it up individual, like this is the blog page. And then when you click on add new post, it goes to the create blog code. You know, and so it's just kind of cool. Like I'm learning as I'm going also, you know, so.
Yeah, you know what I was just thinking, it's kind of, are you a procrastinator?
I don't know if that's the word, but why?
No, because what I'm thinking as thinking, okay, I think people that maybe I'm a deep thinker, I guess, as kind of a procrastinator, and my reasoning oftentimes is because otherwise it didn't, like if you're writing something more creative, I guess, right? There's certain things that would have a deadline, you know, do these math equations or something, then you but maybe something that's more creative, you might procrastinate because otherwise you won't stop working on it. And so I'm going, somebody with that's like you, or anybody really, depending on the situation, you know, oh, squirrel, and get caught up and going down a rabbit hole, it's almost advantageous to be a procrastinator, because if something's not due for 2 weeks, that's really, you know, you could do in 3 days. If I start it 2 weeks early, I won't stop working on it for 2 weeks. Whereas if I wait until 3 days before, because I know that's how long, that's because I have a hard stop at which I have to finish, which causes me better, oftentimes, use of my time, less use of my time on that one project, and just to be a bit more relieved. And oftentimes when you pressure yourself, you get shit done. But you see where I'm going with that. Mm-hmm. So I was just curious if there's probably something true there, you know, if you're a procrastinator when it comes to a creative build with no clear destination or finality, then it could be better to procrastinate.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
That was just a random thought.
Yeah, it's a fun project.
That was a brainstorming rabbit hole. I'm sorry, I went down.
Yeah. So hopefully you could see why I'm building this and like where I'm going with this. I do think it's a big project. I do think that like when it's done, like right now I could see that it's working, and it's working in different stages. And now it's just like, okay. So I think you're right. Maybe I just need to sell it. I think that's
yeah. And you know what? I just thought of this, which is along the lines of what we have been talking about. Maybe this is what you need to do. I told you this before as well. My mom has saying, for God's sake, if you have something important to say, please start at the end, right? Because otherwise she would have people come to her office that just start going down here. It's like, and she added another thing, which is and I think I've heard it before, is with every problem, give me 2 solutions, right? Don't come into me with with a problem and you haven't thought of any solutions yourself to, right? So come to a problem. But where I'm going is, what I think would be good for you, maybe at this point, is, for one, yeah, the shovel. Just know that you already have a shovel proven out. But what are the main things? Maybe it's 5 or 6, I don't know, that need to be a part of this directory to have value for the people purchasing the shovel. You know, so the point you brought up in terms of where the leads coming in, bare minimum stuff. And the analogy that I thought of as this thought came to my mind is luxury, right? There's luxury items, there's extra items. So like with a car, you need an engine, you need wheels, there's certain things you need for a car to run. All the else is bonus. So you have the shovel for the car. Now what this directory, what are the parts of this directory that you need to run like a car? And then all the other is just bonus. That would be the done for you type of stuff. You just want somebody to be able to purchase the shovel, build the car that can go down the road without all the luxuries. They could build luxuries on it themselves, like the example of the house. Then they can customize that house themselves, or they can pay you to customize it the way they want. So that's, I guess, how I would kind of wrap up everything we talked about. Is I think what would be good for you is to know that you have a shovel. What are the basic pieces that you need that people would expect when they purchase this shovel, and then you can continue to play in your sandbox of customizing what the car that you've already created for yourself while you sell the shovel. Then as people buy that shovel, they're going to create a car and then be able to give you some feedback. And then so that's how I would picture that. And if you saw my hand gestures, or I can tell you're writing some stuff down, kind of in a little mind map type of thing.
Yeah, I'm writing down the main things of what this needs to have, because I think you're right. Like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, there is luxuries, but what are the main things to be able to get this out?
What does it have to be able to do?
Because what I just said a few minutes ago is I'm building this modularly, so I can add to it in the future.
Right, and that's where you get to really start adding some sales on top of that, right? That's like those are your upsells. Hey, look, buy this shovel. Here's an upsell here. Now, if you want this, and this is upsell. It's almost like the airlines, like Frontier or something, that is going to charge you for your extra bag. You want extra leg room. You want all this. If you just want a flight, we have the shovel here. Buy the flight, and then all this else is bonus.
Okay. All right. I think that's pretty good. I think that's going to help me focus, because Amazon products are not part of the shovel.
Yeah, that would be a luxury.
It's a luxury.
That's an add-on.
Like, that's totally not necessarily, especially with programmatic.
That can be on yours, right? You have your sandbox that you're playing with, so you get to still play over here with what you built as you sell shovels, and other people create their cars. Then as they build on top of their cars and you're building on top of yours, you can learn from each other.
Yeah, Austin just said build a network of advertising. Now, you guys, this is crazy. So I was actually thinking about that. This is the total side thing, but I had this little tracking thing up top. My client wanted to be able to see like their like stats. So no joke, I built them like an entire tracking system. I didn't put like a UI to it yet, but this is all like, I could see like when people click, when people close, when people like, here's a click right here. These are all impressions, so I could see literally like anytime somebody does anything and what time it was, what link they're viewing, you know what I mean? So I literally created like a full tracking system that, like, I feel like we absolutely can create a whole ad system in the future. You know what I mean? Like, this is insane. There's just a lot of things that we could do. I'm just going to stay focused with just building.
Right, yeah, stay focused. You got a shovel. You proved it out. You proved it out. What does this shovel have to be able to create and able to be able to sell it?
Yeah.
And all the else's extras, which you could upsell later as you play in your own sandbox. Keep it simple, because you could be making a lot of money off this right now. rather than going down a rabbit hole for the next 2 months trying to create the perfect thing that people may or may not want.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Troy. I appreciate it. And it's going to help me stick to focusing on the sales. So yeah, especially at least pre-selling, get some sales with this thing. So
absolutely. And then this is what I was watching earlier. Oh, that's not it. Because I did find this. Where'd it go now? I'll message it to you and I'll put it in the Facebook chat because this Google extensions just blew me away as I was watching the video on it.
Nice. All right.